What's up?
I'm here in a camper in the woods, and we're about to get real with some trailer tales. Tales in a trailer.
I'm gonna need you to follow the light.
Anyways, this is the most crazy story I could possibly tell. It's the story of how I overdosed on what I assumed to be 25i, one of the 25s. It was on tabs. It was sold as LSD. It definitely was not LSD. First off, I just want to say that I don't condone 25i. It's not a safe drug. You can overdose on it just by taking it alone. I happen to be on other things during this overdose, stupidly. But let's get right to it. I got my orange juice, I got my mind ready. So, I was attending Berklee College of Music in Boston. And I was having a good time there. A lot of parties, a lot of women, and things to do with said women. So I should have been happy with some weed and you know whatnot. It all started when I got a check from the school for $2,200 or something like that, because I dropped one of my classes because I didn't want to take any class that wasn't related to music. So I cashed that check in, and I got the $2,000. And you can bet what I did with the $2,000. I first went off and bought 2 ounces of weed and a bunch of jars for the weed, all in my backpack. Then I got the strongest salvia in the store, fucking all in my backpack. Then I got a lot of cocaine from a somewhat sketchy person, about $250 worth, in my backpack. And I attempted to get Molly but got robbed. Not robbed, but like, I didn't get my shit. He didn't go to school, so I didn't get it back. And then I also got 5 tabs of supposedly LSD. First night I was doing all this shit. We went to this concert, Danny Brown, at the W in Boston, and I was doing coke off the seats and had like my hand in this girl's pants like while we were watching. We were in the booth seat. It was great. I ordered a pina colada and they didn't card me. This pays off. And it was fun that night. I stayed up all night, had a lot of sex, played piano in front of a skyscraper because there's pianos outside, and did more coke. Anyways, and I went into a practice room that night with this girl in the Berklee, and we watched Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas on the floor in a practice room with blankets. Fucking like, it was a life. But anyways, it was the weekend finally, and I was like, I'm gonna take this LSD. So I was already on some Adderall this girl gave me, and smoked some weed, and I had been drinking too, and I took 2 tabs. So this is how it begins. I'm downtown Boston, like by this cathedral, with my homies named Tom, Mario, these 2 other kids, and this tall kid. And they're like, oh shit, like one kid took like 1 tab of this shit, but I had 2. And then we're walking, I hadn't been feeling it. We're walking back to the building that Berklee's at, tall buildings around me and stuff. I felt comfortable, whatever. I was on alcohol, so I was all relaxed. Then I take 3 more, and they're like, what the fuck, why'd you do that? And I was like, oh, we're fine, it's LSD, like 5 tabs LSD is nothing, whatever. So I'm starting to trip as we get close to the building. We're back behind the dorms, and I start to trip, like the shit, like it's like wavy and like the textures change and whatnot, and I feel uncomfortable. I have this uncomfortable feeling this might not be acid because it feels a lot like 25. I know. That's when I start to realize maybe it probably wasn't a good idea to take all of them, but at this point it's too late. So we end up splitting up because I want to go play piano. It's some spiritual thing I have to do. I have to go play piano on it. They go to this park and I go alone with so much money worth of shit in my backpack, like with this shit on my teeth or in my gums. And I go into the piano practice rooms, and they have these specific buildings for grand pianos for like piano majors. And I walk in there, and usually you have to like sign up to go for a room or like whatever. And I get in there, and it's just empty. Like all the doors are open, all the pianos are open. No one's in there like taking names or anything. And I'm just like, I could hear like the silence, and I could see the hallway coming at me. Like, so I go into a piano practice room by myself and just start playing. And as I'm playing, I'm like swaying, like my song's like, and I'm just freaking like starting to come down hard. And then I realized, like, after some people walked by, I was like, I have to get out of there. I gotta go meet with my friends. So I get out there and I start walking, and I end up in these back streets, like, kind of lost. And this is when shit starts getting bad. Happens like that, I start to feel like, oh shit, like, I have all this shit, where's the shit in my backpack? And I'm tripping, and I can barely, like, function. Like, I'm gonna get robbed, I'm gonna get, like, jumped. So it started with this feeling like someone's gonna get me. Then it started getting irrational. Then I thought somehow one of my videos caught on YouTube, and that I had got famous, so that everyone was gonna know that, like, I was coming back to the school or something. So then I thought a bunch of people were, like, trying to come get me or some shit. So I finally get back to the school. I remember tripping, walking, like, the sounds like woo, the fucking city around me just creeping me out, like I'm lost, like thinking, like, going faster, like they're coming, like, oh no, like I can't get back. And then I'm across the street. I can see the doors to the entrance, and I'm just like, okay, I just gotta go in, go down the stairs, go past the guard, go up the elevator, go into the dorm, and I'll be good. So I'm just like, here I go, and I'm walking across the street like I'm on people mover, just like, ooh. I get in there, I open the door, and I, for some reason, felt like they were expecting me. Like, I felt like a dude was on his walkie-talkie, like, he's here, some shit, like, but it wasn't like that. I was stupid to think I was tripping that hard. So I get in, I walk down the stairs, I go to the thing, I give him my name, I go up the elevator. At this point, I feel like I'm alright. Like, I don't feel like I'm tripping too majorly hard, except I did feel like people were after me, but I'm like, I'm safe now, I'm in Berklee, whatever. So I walk down the hallway to my dorm, and, like, the walls are getting closer to me. I get into my room, and pitch dark in there. My friends are sleeping in there, and that's when the trip just, I'm like, oh shit, like I don't want to just be sitting in the dark, like tripping this hard. Like I have been before, but I was starting to trip hard, like thinking weird things that weren't true, because I was on Adderall and all these other things. So it was like my body was like rejecting this shit. So I went into the bathroom, closed the door, and I just sit down like this, like, and I start getting this feeling like there's people after me, like there's people trying to come up here with guns and like get me. Like, I don't know why I thought that, but I for sure thought it was true. Like, I thought 100% certainly that someone was after me. Then it starts getting worse. I start tripping so hard. I take off my clothes all the way. I'm butt naked in the bathroom. I turn off the light. I just have my phone, and I turn that off, and I'm just sitting in the bathroom butt naked for, like, I don't know how long. I blacked out probably, and then I'm just sitting there. So I'm unblackout. I wake up. I'm in the shower now, like just sitting there, like in the shower, butt naked in the dark, and I get this mind thought, like, oh no, Lil Wayne seen that I said I was a better rapper than him, and he's trying to kill me. So I thought for some reason Lil Wayne was coming with his cronies and his group, and they were gonna come fucking kill me in Berklee. So I was like, oh shit, like no, like I could feel them just walking there, like getting closer, like even though, like, who the fuck would be scared of Lil Wayne? And yeah, so I thought for sure Lil Wayne was coming. Then it got worse. I thought Lil Wayne was coming and that he was gonna cut off my balls. So I was in there like imagining, like, oh no, he's gonna cut off my balls. So then it starts getting worse and worse. I start feeling like I'm shutting down a little bit, like my body is like, then I felt like the whole town was coming. So I felt it, like these things went from like feeling them to knowing them, like, oh shit, this is gonna happen, what do I do? So I'm in the bathroom, like, this door ain't gonna stop the whole town. Like, I thought the whole town was coming. So then, I start having these visions. I see like me hanging from these crosses in the middle of the desert, and Taliban like hacking at me or something, like with axes and shit. And like I'm like, oh shit, like they're gonna sacrifice me because I've been such a bad person in my life, like just thinking about things I could feel guilty about or whatever. Then I had visions of all my friends in a row in like white robes, like said like, this was coming, you knew this was coming, like you can't live like this your whole life. And I was like, fuck, like, oh no. So then I went from the whole town to like everyone, like the people in Berklee, like the security and the police even. So what happened was, I called the police and said, literally, this was how fucked up I was. I can manage to somehow get on my phone, dial 911 and say like, there's people coming up to my room, like, to get me right now. And they're like, why? And I was like, oh no, like, I'm good at rapping and they're jealous or something like that. And they asked me where I was, and I was like, I'm at Berklee, like, just saying it. And like, I thought, by the way the cop was talking, that he was in on it. He was like, okay, where are you? And I was like, fuck! So I thought the police were in on it. I thought the whole town was coming to sacrifice me or something. I thought there was a crowd of people outside the dorms, like, screaming and yelling because I had gotten famous, like instantly, and then, like, Lil Wayne was coming, they'd, like, fucking shoot me. Like, I felt like the it was inevitable. My death's inevitability was ahead of whatever could possibly protect me. And I thought like I was on its way. I could hear the bang like already. Like here it comes. Like they made it past. Like shit, this is gonna happen. Then I dialed my dad and said, please help me, like someone trying to get me. So he ended up calling the police officers, and then I thought my dad was gonna come too and beat me up. I thought everyone was just after me for some reason. So it starts getting crazy at this point, like what I feel like at this point, like I kind of had an ego dissolution. I come out of myself, and I feel like here's my soul, and like here's Lil Wayne's soul or something. And we start going like this at the tip of everything. Like everyone could see it. Like it was the tip of existence. Was going like, I have no idea why it's Lil Wayne, whatever. But it started to get extremely scary because I felt not only like was I gonna get my balls chopped off and beat up, but there was these 7 stages. Like at first, like where I knew Lil Wayne was gonna come, and then I would forget, and then it was like the second stage where he'd be like, "This is the realest shit I ever wrote," and I could see him like right there, just saying like, that basically like. It was part of this like plan where he had to sacrifice someone, part of this like Illuminati thing, and like I was in it or something. And fucking, I felt like I was about to be sent to hell. Like at this point, like not like hell, like burning, whatever. Like infinite pain, infinite dizziness, like infinite times infinite of pain, infinite torture, everything just like feeling that all at once. You being forever like trapped like that. And what happened was I felt it coming like a train, like coming at me, like it was, I was about to go there. Like it's the scariest thing that ever happened to me. Like I imagine this empty void of darkness with this like misty red thing going like around a hexagon, like coming at me, like it was this shape, like coming at me, and I was gonna get closed in there, like compartmentalized into hell or whatever. And I could feel like no, like I could feel it about to happen. And I think my theory on this was that I was about to die. Like my body's about to shut down because I overdosed severely bad. Like you'll find out that in a little bit. But so something happened. I stood up and I was like, "Fuck you, Lil Wayne!" And I started going boom, 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 like as hard as like a human being could fucking elbow the wall. I was elbowing the shower water, just like boom, boom, screaming like "fuck you!" And I started just kicking the shit. I ripped down the curtains. I opened the counter and threw out all this stuff and like was fucking trying to break the toilet. I was doing everything just because I didn't want to get sent to hell. Like I heard these bells like ding, ding, and there were 7 of them. And I kept hearing these. There was these like 7 stages in this giant clock. Like it was coming. Like it was part of this evil ass thing. Like I can't say what I kept like coming out of it, and then I would realize, oh shit, here it comes again. Like it was the 7 stages. So then this is where shit gets even crazier. I blacked out like 3 times within all this happening in the bathroom. Like the door opens, and I remember kind of just floating like a camera in this misty blue area and just seeing these floating like faces like looking at me. This turns out to be the cops and the security opening the door coming to get me. And I just remember just going like this, reaching for the faces, which they probably like, assumed I was trying to find them. And they tackled me. I don't remember getting tackled. I had like a scar on the side of my face, but I don't remember any of that. I remember struggling, like reaching for faces, and then it was like I had gotten past the part where I thought that I was gonna go to hell and die. And I knew that at this part, like, I was safe now. But at the same time, I still felt like I was famous, like I was like the Buddha or the like fucking Zen or some like thing. Like I remember sitting there while they were handcuffing me. They handcuffed me and they were like asking me what my name was, because I thought they were asking me because I was about to go down in history for some crazy shit for like mind battling Lil Wayne, because I thought I like mind battled him or some shit. And then I'm sitting there, I feel like I'm in space on the Burj Dubai that's in space somehow. And I put like a staff that I didn't really have down on the ground, and I lifted up my feet like this, like the fucking, like the Buddha, like, I can't do it without fucking up this table. But I like crossed my legs and just floated in the room like this, like on one staff, like fucking, I felt for sure I was floating on the staff, just like handcuffed, like, but if I was handcuffed, I felt like I had another arm, just like floating on the staff, and I kept saying like, boss, 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 and all these crazy things. Like I was saying, I ended up saying my last name, like saying it like it would go down in history, like for some stupid ass reason. So apparently I did try to battle the cops that night, but they I was naked. So I was naked coming out of the bathroom, reaching that cop, just like, fuck Lil Wayne, fuck Lil Wayne. And I was like, right now on camera, right now on camera, because I thought we were on the news or something. I was like, I'm gonna fuck you up, Lil Wayne, right now on camera. I was was like, I'm the best piano player that ever lived. I'm gonna destroy you. You're not a musician. And I kept like thinking that I had became like the Zen or something. And this is the scary part, is I kept yelling for them to kill me. Cause I thought that I for sure could see that I would go to this afterlife where like people were feeding me fruit and like I was like in this Roman like fucking gear and like in like this temple like with Lil Wayne like going on jet skis through golden jizz rivers. Like I felt like I was guaranteed this crazy afterlife, so I was telling him, just show me, like kill me. Like I was just screaming it like as I was getting pulled. So I got put on a stretcher. I blacked out a few more times after screaming kill me, fuck you Lil Wayne, the best piano player that ever lived. I had gone through these 7 stages of Illuminati devil hell, like I don't even know. And I didn't even realize my friends were in the room or anything. At this point I did totally forget where I was like that night. Like I was just in this misty like land, like going through these like trials like of I can't even explain. So I got put on this stretcher, tied up naked, and I was just yelling shit, like stupid shit, blacked out. Then we're going down the hallway, and I thought we were going down the tunnel, like to where I was gonna go to the afterlife. Like I thought, like I had died. I don't really remember going down the elevator. I don't remember going through the lobby, but kids told me that I was screaming shit, like naked, going through like the main entrance to Berklee, like on the stretcher. I remember waking up in the ambulance thinking that we were in a spaceship, like to go to our destination, and just like rapping like some shit that probably didn't make sense, and then I blacked out again. And then I wake up in the hospital and my mom's already there from across the country. This girl from Berklee that I had fucked earlier was there, and my mom was like crying and stuff. I didn't know what was going on. I was still coming off the anesthesia or whatever. They apparently had to like pump this shit in my blood to keep me alive. I had a catheter down my dick, shit all in my veins everywhere. Like I was on a breathing tube that night, like down my throat, and they even pumped my stomach. They thought there could be something in there. And yeah, like then it started hitting me what happened. Like they told me that I literally like was a minute away from dying. Like I was dead. Like my level of something in my blood said that I should have basically died. Like that I was really lucky, basically. Like my heart stopped beating a few times, like went on a weird arrhythmia or whatever. When I think my theory is that on the trip I could feel that something was wrong, like that my body was shutting down, and that my mind interpreted it as an outside threat, like people, like danger, like I got adrenaline and felt like, you know, like that instinct kicked in. So that whole night I seriously thought I was battling Taliban, Lil Wayne. I didn't even remember that I had been elbowing the wall or ripping shit down until I was on the plane, and I felt that my like elbow was super sore, and I was like, oh shit. I still get weird flashbacks of that night, like not like visual trip flashbacks, but like memories of something that I didn't remember. Like something was very weird about those 7 stages. Like they felt real, like the bells like felt like, oh shit, like this feeling of like, imagine being about to be dropped into a meat grinder, but you're not gonna die, you're just gonna go down through it for the rest of your life type of shit. Like I could feel that about to fucking happen. Like I could feel it like I was so scared. Like I felt like this dizzy feeling, like I was just started to just get whipped around in fucking hell, like hell. I mean, the visuals that night, like, were the real deal. Like, it was the real, like, you don't see the room, like, you see super fractal shapes, like, in 4-dimensional space-time curving around each other in an impossible way. But you are that at the same time. And, like, I felt like me and Lil Wayne, like, for some reason, fuck Lil Wayne, trying to kill me in my mind all the time. What the hell? Because I had a 2CT7 trip where I started tripping really hard, and for a minute I've had this feeling Lil Wayne was coming again, and then that went away. But for some reason, I don't know why, like maybe I watched a YouTube video of Lil Wayne that night or something, but he happened to be the person that was coming after me. It was like this version of Lil Wayne, like that was like a spear version, like his eyes had glowing lights that were like beaming out beams, and he had like snakes for hair, and he was like fucking had like swords, and he was coming at me. Like I was like, and I had felt like I'd become the Yang. I was Yin or Yang. I was gonna go down in history as being like Buddha or Gandhi or some shit. Like, cause I was up on the thing. Like, none of that really happened. I never really got famous, and now I feel completely ridiculous for ever thinking like that other people are coming after me. But it turns out, if I hadn't have called the cops that night, if I hadn't have called the cops on myself, then I probably would have died in that bathroom at Berklee naked on drugs. And that's not a cool story. I mean, there's some aspects that are pretty damn funny since now that I'm back here, but that wouldn't have been a cool way to go out. I would have been a poster child for why you shouldn't use a psychedelic, even though certain psychedelics have never caused a death directly from an overdose, such as shrooms. If you want to see the rap version of this story, you could click right here. And, yeah, so, remember when I said that I was, give me a second. Fuck. Remember when I said that I was camping in the forest? Gotcha. Good news is, I still got my campfire. If you want details on this, let me know. It was not fun. I'm trying to think of any details that I could remember giving you. A weird, interesting fact is my friend's mom, who has MS, has been in the hospital. She hadn't talked about me in years, but that same weekend that happened, she kept asking my friend, like, where's Connor been? Like, how's Connor doing? Like, apparently she felt like something that night. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend 25i or 25c or any of that shit. Like, 2CT7, 2CI, 2CB, some of these, like, they're a lot more safer. But you really could be just cool on some shrooms. Just some shrooms, like, in pitch darkness. What Terrence McKenna would say. So be careful. That night has changed me forever. I felt like I went to the other side. Like, I felt like I seen the bright light that I seen some stuff that I shouldn't have. Like some really scary symbols and bloody scenes, and I really truly felt like my own father and the Boston Police Department and the whole city was coming to sacrifice me in the streets. Which ain't cool. I never felt like that on shrooms, you know. Anyways, I'll see you another time for some trailer tales. You guys have a good one.
That's all, folks.